Welcome to the GHE. This tutorial is on making sheet glass from tubing. So I'm going to start with a piece of black that I already have ready. This is a coil pot of black tubing. I'm going to put my blow hose on it. And the first thing that I'm going to do is start to get it hot. I need to be able to make this into a cylinder. So as I get it hot, I'm going to grab my marver and just gently blow while it rolls against these 3 points of contact. There we go, we've already got a cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and pop a hole in the end. This hole in the end is going to allow me to put clear on it. So I'm just going to open up the tube and make sure that it's the same size as the hole in the piece of clear that I want to attach it to. I want to stick the two together. Not super worried about my seal because I'm going to liquefy this in a second. Cut yourself off about an inch, inch and a half. By the time we blow this out, it'll be about a ½ inch of clear tubing on the end of this black. Reattach my blow hose and really start heating up all that clear, especially the connection point. Give it a little bit of air, start blowing it out. By blowing it out slowly, you can really see where your heat is in the glass, what wants to expand and what doesn't. And that way you're able to go back in and apply heat appropriately. You give it that air. Okay, we're about to cylinder shape, so I'm going to stop, give it another heat, and bring it to the marver to finish out that cylinder shape. Got a little bit of a taper to it, and because we're making sheet glass, I want this to be a perfect cylinder. So I'm just going to double check. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now it needs a handle on it on this side so that we're able to blow clear onto the other end as well. Okay, so just make sure that this is the same size as your handle. I'm going to grab my handle and go ahead and attach these together. Okay, and then my original handle, I'm going to leave another 1.5 inches of clear on it so that I can blow it out. So start getting that connection point hot again, and melting that clear back down into the piece. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start giving it some air. Still need some more heat into the black, so I'm gonna reheat. Give it some more air. Okay, now it wants to become a cylinder, so I'm just gonna give it a marver. Okay, now because we're making sheet glass, it's imperative that this is all the same thickness. So I'm just going to start heating up the whole bubble, starting to get a feel for it, where it's thick, where it's thin, try to even it out. It doesn't take more than a couple heats, a couple marvers. Okay, now I've got a tube that I'm happy with. It's time to turn this into sheet glass. I'm going to pop a hole in the end. There's no need for a blow hose anymore. And I want to flare this all the way open so it's the same diameter as the rest of the tubing. We're going to cut all of this clear off later on, so it doesn't have to be super precise. Okay, now I'm going to use my pin-sized flame and turn down my torch so that it's nice and sharp, and just heat up one line from my handle to the open end. Just back and forth and back and forth. Once it's liquid, grab the scissors and go as far as I can up that top. Just blowing on it a little bit because the scissors create dust. They create little fragments of glass. Just blowing them off. I take a clear rod and do a liquid seal to that tube. I'm going to go ahead and burn off the other side. At this point, what we're trying to do is to take this tube and completely open it up into a piece of sheet glass. So to make the other end so that it will open up appropriately, we need to continue that cut. First, by continuing the straight cut up the side. And then getting all the way around hot so that we can cut the end open like a cylinder. Like I said, no part of this at this point needs to be pretty. We just don't want to mangle our black. Okay, so I'm really going to start heating up one side of it. Just allowing gravity to pull it out. Just give it a little bit of help with my paddle. Now I want to be able to flatten it out from this end point, so I'm going to put a handle on it. Liquid seal. I'm going to go ahead and burn off my original handle. Just so that glass is a little more even, uniform, so it accepts heat evenly, I'm going to cut off that little nub. Okay, now from this point, just kind of start getting the whole thing warm, especially focusing on that lip that hasn't actually unfolded yet. But gravity just kind of pulls this out straight for the most part for you. You're kind of going to help it along. So try to get as much of it hot as you can at the same time. Doesn't have to be a super liquid hot. Just turn up your torch a little bit on the propane and let the whole thing get warm. Take it to the flat marver, press it flat. I'll usually do this a couple times, really starting up where my handle was originally. I usually do this a couple times until I get to a point where I'm happy. Now I need to take that clear off of both sides. If you were going to take this to a saw and cut it up there to make smaller bits, you could just stop right now. If you wanted to do all this hot or on a torch, you're going to have to get rid of that clear. There's such a small little sliver of clear here though that my scissors don't want to grab it. So I'm going to attack it from a different angle. Alright, that side's done. Let's heat up the other side. Needs to be a little hotter. Okay, almost through. One more time. Okay, now that we have all that clear removed, it's still kind of a wompy shape from all that messing with it. So I'm just going to heat up the whole thing like we did before and take it back to the marver and press it flat again. Do that a couple times, just getting a nice heat into the whole thing. Okay, and there's our finished piece of sheet glass. This concludes our tutorial on how to make sheet glass from tubing. Thank you for subscribing to the GHE.